That's not what we're doing today. But good evening, Hitch Heroes. That is not our topic of the day. Hello. How's everyone doing this evening? Welcome, Hitch Heroes, to a second unofficial, the prologue, the V-Cinema, the one-off side story, the OVA of the Texas Toku team. I am your Sixth Ranger, Red Ranger. We'll figure out what works best for us. Trey, you can hang out with me, your boy. Tonight, we'll be talking about kaiju and all things kaiju. You know what I'm saying? So we can go creepy, crawly, weird, old traditional classics. We can talk about the effects. You can talk about anything. Talk about anything kaiju, right? I want to get the pace of the show correct, right? So it's going to be based on, I'm going to have some things to get us started, of course. But it'll be based on us, you know what I'm saying? And I want to engage the audience or engage folk and get an idea of what they like the most. So you can go ahead and always message here. I would like to make an aside. I had a really good and informative dialogue with Mr. Stephen Monticelli, right? Mr. Stephen Monticelli is a Dallas journalist, right? Journalist has been out here speaking truth to power since about 2021. He's on their website, the website, eater.com. But he's on a few other websites for Dallas and their Dallas publications. I'm going to put that here in the chats, respectively. I have a Jamie, y'all, so I'm going to have to, be my own comments. All right, calm down with me, right? Be patient. Oh, is that? You're being too patient? Oh, thank you. What if you make a terrible mistake and you told the stream to only pick the dumbest chat ever on the whole planet ever? I know how my... Alright, what if I went to my page right now? Nope. You have my... Nope. When you were coding Rust, brother, we had better things. And we're gonna go to my channel and that'll be it. Oh, cool. So we're gonna go to hot, and I heard that sounded fun. Don't that guy sound fun? All right, cool. All right, so today's episode actually really about nope, that's the wrong one. Today's topic, hot. Sorry, that you wish. I do have content coming up. I've been putting some pen to pad on a few other comedic things for a little bit. So that was kind of a sneak peek, actually. But there we go. There we go. So the format really depends on y'all. So today's topic is we're actually really getting down to nitty gritty. I am a one-man show, so limitations in that will be thus. But I promise you, we're gonna have fun, bro. You just tell me. All right, so would y'all prefer more informative stuff? Like give you like a 10, 15 minute death by PowerPoint presentation on a specific kaiju. We do have a format version of that where I gave a cool presentation of Kamen Rider Black Sun. I wouldn't mind doing one of those again, where I give you like a quick synopsis TLDR, and then we just go into like, you know, open lines to people for feedback, communication, and have people pop in. But before we even pop in anything else, tell me like what have you been watching? What tokusatsu, what kaiju, what Kamen Rider, Super Sentai. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I haven't watched Gotchard. I haven't watched Gav. I'm fibbing because I always watch at least the first 2 episodes of every season. Gotchard really felt like yokai watch. Let me copy your homework, and then kind of like, you know. So between how Gotchard felt like more. I mean, we always have collectibles like the Buddy Roids and Cantroids. There's always gonna be little tchotchkes, little living buddies, whatever. But Gotchard just felt like the most umpteenth of that, and I kind of just fell off. I think within 3 episodes, and then Gav. I don't know what happened. I watched the first episode, and it just. I don't know, and also because of the belt crank feature, I was like build called and it wanted the belt back, but that felt kind of shallow because I did see a lot of its kicks, a lot of its art, its aesthetic, and it looks like a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna hop back in. I have been. I say hop back in. I watched episode 2 in last week. So in the next month or so, I'll probably have a few more episodes under my belt and be able to make a better assessment of what the show is really good at, what it's about, etc. You know what I mean? Give me 1 second here. That's weird. Check. My mic's doing just fine. Huh. Anyway, let me know if you have any audio issues. Well, we're here, we're locked in, and we're talking kaiju. Have you ever watched anything Ultraman lately? Has there been anything else that's been on your radar? That'll be something else I'll do and format into this. So maybe that's what I'll do. We're going to do it the way we did with the Kamen Rider Black Sun presentation. I'm going to go give y'all an actual more formalized presentation on something, right? We'll spend a little time talking about TLDR in case you missed it, in case you didn't, for a series. Cool series synopsises and relevant shows to watch. So let me 1 second here. Let's see if I can't do that on the fly for y'all. All right, we're back. Come on with me, Henshin Heroes, as I present to you one of my favorite kaiju films, most modern, and most recently will probably make a very poignant impact on you when it comes to the efficacy of systems and the power of optics versus the power of actually solving anything, right? Shin Godzilla, right? It is one of my favorite films of all time, but certainly one of my favorite kaiju films of all time. And I really just want to take a moment to share on that love with y'all, if y'all don't mind. It really starts with the following. That's why I bring that up. Don't worry. I was gonna say we just doing this live and we doing it new. So that's why we have a prologue to iron out all this shit. Video capture card. Media file, get capture. Nope, sorry, that's the wrong thing. Try that again. Remove. Cool. Window capture. There we go. My bad. That was why I was like deep in the trenches of. No. That's not what I wanted. Game or thing. Window capture. Add new source instead. Window capture. Boom. I had old man eyes, guys, so I had to squint. I'm sorry. Let's see. That lady's supposed to be Shin Godzilla. I didn't bother putting Shin Godzilla there. Imagine the original graphic I had from earlier. Matter of fact, we're gonna write that wrong. We're gonna write that wrong real quick. You know what I'm saying? We have the technology. Look, team. Damn, look what we did. We back, baby. We back. All right. We're so advanced. Yet Tokyo was destroyed in a matter of 24 fucking hours. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that fucking crazy to like really sit there and think about that these people that saw from the shores of Tokyo this chicken looking like thing, right? Like it's, let's remember like what Form 1 Shin Godzilla looked like, right? It was kind of gross. Oh my God, some of these are the weirdest looking pictures I've ever seen in my fucking life. I forgot. Form 1 is even crazier than what I thought. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy pasta. This is actually, niggas are saying this is Form 2 instead of Form 1. That's crazy. So they're saying the following, y'all. Fools say that's crazy. You think that's Form 2 for real? I thought that was the first one. We saw that flopping chicken motherfucker. Just like, wow. Okay. So that's not Form 2, but whatever. This thing showed up on the shores of Tokyo and ravaged the dog shit out of them. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Do y'all remember that moment? Like, does anyone remember when this pulled up on bruh? Hold on. Kamata-kun. Form 2. They do call it second form. Kamata-kun. So Kamata-kun is, I guess, the second form. The first form, bro, y'all ready for this? I don't think y'all ready for the first form, dude. Bro, I think it's cute as shit. I'm not gonna lie. If someone told me that was gonna become Shin Godzilla, bro, ain't no way. Ain't no way. We'll say what? Nah, but this is Form 1. And this is... Hello, Kamata-kun. I don't know how many people you sent into their own isekai. That's our boy Kamata-kun. And that motherfucker... Ooh-wee. I'm playing here on the viewing globe for everybody. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this boy right here? That was crazy. You imagine like just your regular day to day, just colossally trounced by this dude right here, bro. Ain't no way, bro. Right? Ain't no way. They had no plans. They had absolutely no plans. And from all of our apparatus, right, I'm going to keep doing this and unking it. We have the ineptitude of bureaucracy on display. Like, right? Like, with all this sophisticated apparatus, with all these people who are clearly industrious, because we see all the organized factions of the Tokyo, or of the Japanese government, you know, JSDF, and all these other places of clear organization, specialization, and militarization, we still fucking suck, right? After all of that, we still don't prevail, right? Godzilla just basically gives the fuck up, right? He just kind of like goes through his metamorphosis and like fizzles out like a fart. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is wild to me. If y'all like, that's fucking crazy. But yeah, we have Godzilla just like absolutely being a devastating menace, a force across all of Japan. And then like the most high contrast. So we saw that, and then it brings us to this image here. So let's go ahead. Look at these dudes. Look at these dudes. Do these dudes look like they're having their commutes wrecked, their homes ravaged, right? Do these people look like they are concerned about who's going to be displaced or food shortages? You know what I'm saying? Are these people really grounded in any of this turmoil? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, let's go ahead. Especially lay out the contrasting images here, right? Are any of those people in this room here adversely affected by any of the things that Kamata-kun at this point, he does not have Godzilla as a designation yet, right? And like again, let's like look at all these people, right? Look how comfortable they are. Look how this dude is smiling. Ooh, you know what's crazy? This dude right here in the back, also stars in a Kamen Rider Black Sun, if I'm not mistaken. So that's crazy. But yeah, you see all these dudes again. When I say we're specialized, look at them: the blue jumpsuits, the white jumpsuits, the green jumpsuits. Right? Each one of these are a specialized department of force in the Japanese government. Right? I bring all this up because it was so striking to me how, as a grown man and all my years of organizing and work and doing all this stuff, that like this is what it feels like on the ground when you're organizing. Maybe a little bit I've heard with harm reduction, but with housing advocacy, with just workers' rights. I worked for PSAV, which is a corporate company that did lights and audio, but I did ITC contracts, stagehand unit contracts, because they stood on business, right? All that apparatus though that PSAV and all these people had, I couldn't even get like an hour break after 10 hours of labor shift, or gaffing tape. That was crazy. We had to get our own specific client specific per contract gaffing tape that could cost up to $50 a roll type shit. It'd be insidious work, right? So when I think about all this apparatus, I think about people who are supposed to be in charge, right? That think that they are doing it. When they're doing some work, there is an efficacy to it, right? But what kind of efficacy are these people really doing? Are they preventing us from running into this, right? Are they really experiencing any of the turmoil or fallout from that? Sure, they're having to deal with criticisms and feedback and some of the like being annoyed by people, right? But is this them, right? Is this them here, right? And I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? And that really sunk. That it was dark comedy. I don't know how to explain to people how like this film hit for the first time for real ever with like some true like, oh, it's like the moon, or the two dudes on the moon looking at Earth, and dude's like, wait a minute. It's just been a bunch of people being the glut of the money that should just probably go directly into the relief and go directly in the hands of the people who are actually doing the work. It's been that the whole time, baby. And it's gun behind his head or whatever. This is what this movie did for me. This movie really put in perspective that there are leagues to it, sure, but it's all the same sport. You know what I mean? But not only that, look at the design. Look at good use of compositing, CG, and practical effects. That's also my main cheese with this. I gotta shout out on that. Go ahead. Cause like you gotta then look at this picture right here. It really intimidates me, bro. Cause like what do you say to that, huh? Like what are your reps saying due to that, right? I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, like, what would your representation be able to do about that? Because again, do we see any of those suited motherfuckers? Again, let's go for reference. Do we see any one of those people out there on the ground? Matter of fact, they're getting ready to get all these specialized apparatus cogs of this machine to go engage these problems. And look how like schmeckeldorfed these dudes look, right? So it's just like how big these problems are. And I also love how with that layers of almost obfuscation, not informing the people at the right time about Godzilla and their trajectory throughout the city up until they get to the center of Tokyo. is like, think of things like COVID. I said the anti word, right? But who cares, right? I'm not making money off this shit anyway. But now think of other responses to big public crises like that. You see what I'm saying? They've been otherwise like fractured by people who are otherwise not having to bear the consequence of people's ineptitude, right? And those people get to go home and smile, shake hands, job well done, and play patsy with one another. But at the end of the day, they're not any of these people running for their lives, right? So Shin Godzilla for the first time for real was like, yes, Godzilla versus Biollante exists. Yes, Godzilla versus Hedorah exists. There are all sorts of other pointed, directional, political Godzilla movies that came out and have come out since. But I think it's very important to like realize this was a visionary director's vision for a deeper vision that was conceived in 1954 to tell the world the first perceived fears of a death unknown, right? You know what I'm saying? And if y'all seen the pictures of So Godzilla's original concept art is pretty fucking disturbing if you get a second to we've had a lot of re-renderings, but a lot of them were trying to focus on Godzilla's head as you look up, looking more akin to like the mushroom cloud. Do you see what I'm saying? So the mushroom cloud figure was like really prominent in you see what I'm saying? You see that shit? I thought I popped that up. So everyone's kind of focused on this feature of the head being more, again, when you look up like the mushroom cloud, you know what I mean? Does that look like something they try to bring into Shin Godzilla's design? So I really do feel that fear incarnate in this, but then at the same time, I kind of like, where would you be, right? Would you be a person morbidly laughing at the entrails that you had to pick up as one of the people in the specialized jumpsuit? Are you one of these people that are running? You know what I'm saying? Are you? What is Godzilla? Is this houselessness? Is it destitution and joblessness? Is it elderly, you know what I'm saying, and aging population? Like, what force is the government too inept to prepare for, or is prepared for as part of their mundane apparatus to point fingers and otherwise, you know, bask in each other's apparatus and company, safe away from any of this carnage, you know what I'm saying? And again, I just can't stop thinking about how, could you imagine facing up at that? You know what I mean? That's so wild to me. So, yeah, ultimately, I want to take a moment to talk about like other kaiju films, other kaiju movies, and things that y'all like, you know, that y'all favor. Open up to y'all. One of my favorite pseudo kaiju films is a mech film. And this is going to be an aside because I like the presentation format here. It's been helping me. If y'all ever get a chance, this movie right here, Gunhead, is one of my favorite, maybe kaiju films, accidental fucking cinematic works, masterpieces. So what is it? Well, Gunhead initially was supposed to be Godzilla versus Gunhead, right? During the 1980s, circa 1986, 1987, I think one James Vannon had submitted a film for submission to win what eventually became Godzilla versus Biollante. But not to go home empty-handed. Broham got to direct his own film that he called Gunhead. And imagine if the Gilliam, right, from Outlaw Star, or Gilliam from Outlaw Star, as an AI, right? Were piloted off of distilled whiskey, right? And just was on a mad tear through the movie is unhinged, y'all. There's like no real point, rhyme, or reason, but the only tangential way it's related to kaiju is it was almost 1987's Godzilla versus, right? It ended up being Godzilla versus Biollante, but yo, we could have been living in another universe where this crazy alcohol drinking tank mech would have been the side story there for us. So anyway, let me get back to Shin Godzilla because that shit tight. So we get to the conclusion of the film, and let's see here. Because like I'm making it sound like Godzilla had it, like it was easy for all that to resolve. He had to blow off some steam and destroy some things the way he had to destroy them, right? But the macabre, let's see, give me the final form. That's crazy they don't put this form there, but let's see. There it is. Cool. So if y'all don't see, this is what was emerging off of Shin at the end of the movie. You see what I'm saying? You see that shit? So I keep thinking that the threat isn't over, right? So again, like aging population is stop aging, you know what I'm saying? They all devilishly almost feel like, hey, job well done, pat each other on the back type shit. Do you see what I'm saying? And they don't really do anything, right? They let me calm down, right? Because I was speaking to someone today about that. I was speaking about that to the journalist today, Mr. Stephen Monticelli. Again, I'm telling you, check out his art or his work. He speaks truth to power. Mr. Stephen Monticelli, we're talking about the idea that there's an apparatus, right? That like we don't want to tell them that the efficacy that they are doing is bad because any lives saved are lives saved, right? But they understand the disproportionate amount of power they have in that then all lives didn't matter in that. And so we're not going to have too much leverage to be able to speak against them and the inefficacies, because they will talk about how much we still value the efficacies and use those almost as an excuse or token to shut us up, right? But here we are at the end of Shin Godzilla, and these motherfuckers, the movie concluded. They didn't touch this. This hadn't been, like, I didn't see any, like, Geiger counters. I didn't see, you know what I'm saying? What the fuck is this? It looks like a 12-foot being, too, because these things proportionally, like, while they're not the whole size of the city, they're still, like, within scale enough for their heads and stuff to be, like, you know what I mean? So the threat's not gone. Your aging population's not gone. You're ill, you're unhoused, your veterans are not gone, right? So I like how this feels like a society or they live, or you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna name another Brian Houston as Screaming Mad George because those are my like favorite horror movies. But like, you see what I'm saying? This monster film is like, who is the monster for real? Obviously Godzilla is, but like, then maybe we're not the monsters, but we're certainly not someone to be like super stoked on. Like, I don't feel any more comfortable at the prospect of all this quote unquote modern apparatus here to save me. Do you see what I'm saying? So Shin Godzilla is an effective horror movie. It's an effective dark comedy, and it's one of my favorite kaiju films and favorite films of all time. So, bam, bada boom. We did a formal presentation on this bitch on the fly. Bam. What are we talking about? So, you learned something today. We have some fun. We're doing some good shit. Good. Next week, I'm going to be at Rick Otaku Cafe off of Bandera. We're going to have prizes. We're going to have, like, again, another formal setup. And we'll do this same sort of pattern, you know what I'm saying? Where I'll do a formal presentation. I'll turn up to the room, be like, hey, guys, what are you doing? What are you watching? You watching Gav? You watching Ultraman? Garo won't stop hitting my Instagram, and I end up watching Garo and AEW in summary clips, essentially, you know what I'm saying, because they're really good about it. It's not me insulting them. I was with my homie Jay from Justin the Capital when we were doing our old podcast. That was one of the things we couldn't wait for, was the Toei Hero World. Shout out Toei Hero World on YouTube. You can watch like the first episode of every Metal Heroes, like every Kamen Rider series, every Super Sentai, and every show in between that's tokusatsu. And that was a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the things we had prayed that with fan subbing groups and stuff that we would one day have. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? Here we are. We're not having to worry about Hinotori subs or TV Nihon or whatever, but shouts out to them too. Just like my local comic book retailers. You will never be forgotten. You're always the reason why I have any place here in the first place. So always rep local. You know what I'm saying? Still corporate, rep local. Yarg. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me. This will be kind of the format. You know what I'm saying? With more feedback, more people are giving, conversation. We're able to actually take in. Give me a second. Yeah, we're able to start taking in people's callers' information, people's information, whatever. We'll go in that way. And yeah, we'll just follow this format. A little bit of formal presentation, a little bit of fun and season with us. I'll do some art. I got a little bit of art I need to finish too. Bring that up real quick. Uno momento. So this is Woodburn custom. So this is a reuse. So I would want you skating this yourself. But you could give me a slick deck, or we could order you a slick deck. This is acrylic, but again, acrylic. I wouldn't want to do too much oil, but I can do oil composite. Just good layers and sealed. You know what I'm saying? Just do it like that. This is how they look finished and sealed. This is linseed. I think it's a linseed finish. You know what I'm saying? Nice, smooth linseed finish with the wood burn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean. So, if you're interested in a commission, right? Not only can you purchase I have the one for Bloodstock currently at Hash Vegan Eats for purchase $60. You can help yourself to commission me one as well. Email me roybot06@gmail.com. We can get you commissioned on one view. And we will live stream yours. Do a nice little lapse time thing I like to do with them. You can look at my YouTube page. You've seen them. They're on my YouTube and TikTok, in fact. Divon Dynamo. I know you're hearing from one of these too. So you can see the time lapse, me watch me paint it, go through the process, make a little cute little time lapse of how we went through it, and make the right wood burn, the right art, and the right thing for you. You know what I mean? So holler at your boy and let me know what and how we can do things for each other. You know what I mean? And like I said, next week I'm gonna have 2 prizes. I got a Blu-ray. I think I got 2 Blu-rays, if I'm not mistaken, but I at least have 1. I got I'm gonna show y'all. Un momento, por favor. Boop. And we're back. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah. So you at least got this nice signed. So we were doing events. I came back on it and I got my good job 2024. No one wanted to go to any of my events. So Crunchyroll had given me this. And it's been wrapped and sealed the entire fucking time. So I want to give this to somebody. So someone please take this on my fucking head. Kindly. And then nice Aquarion box case set for y'all. And a gunpla. There'll probably be a gunpla there too. So you'll be able to claim yours in person. And I will send one to you. I will send it to you. I promise I'll send it to you, bro. You can give me like fucking whatever. I don't know how the federal government working right now, but I will get you one of these. I promise you, right? See, we're Henshin heroes, so of course I'm always be talking about the heroism. So how do you can go in your community? Mutual aid is not as big as always going to yell at slumlords or organizing with tenants. It could just be as useful as going to your neighbor and asking them, hey, you ate? You watched any Gundam? You seen any Ultraman lately? And it's free, right? And it's free. You can go take them to YouTube right now, pull up Kamen Rider Black or Black RX, and get them cultured. Get them right. That's what mutual aid is. Spreading joy, at least at some level, and spreading humanity, right? And yeah, you're not going to spread humanity and not give them some water. You're not going to be selfish, are you? You're not going to be selfish, are you? You see what I'm saying? Give them a blanket. It starts there. You see what I'm saying? So, I believe in us. I believe in us, Henshin heroes. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to make some dope changes. Next week, Rick Otaku Cafe. Next week, here on YouTube, here on TikTok, Dive on Dynamo. You can get yourself this Blu-ray. You know what I'm saying? This DVD, a Gunpla, right? Should I put art in there to make it to sweeten the pie?
Sundays this fall, UPN Kids is open.
The Incredible Hulk.
It's open.
My bad. So, just letting y'all know, we'll see y'all next week. I'm not trading anything. Tobacco, that's weird. What? Anyway, and check out the homie here for his articles and content informing you about whatever. That's crazy. I just got hit with another. It's so weird. I hate capitalism so much, bro, because it don't be making no sense sometimes when it's just out here trying to make you follow its dumbass rules. So, yeah, anyway, I was supposed to say goodbye to y'all. I can't believe we made it, bro. We made a good presentation. We're a good team, huh? That's why we're the Texas Toku team. You, us together, we're going to make a good Sentai, I promise, right? Next week, here, Rick Otaku Cafe, 8 p.m. Central Standard. You can get prizes. You can go hang out. And I'm going to show some tokusatsu. That was the other thing. We're going to secretly have a little dinner and some tokusatsu. So show up. Love y'all.